For me, initially, playing video games was just an outlet and a pastime. It had serviced me by allowing me to pour my time and energy into a sphere of influence I enjoyed. But once I got my Xbox 360, my very first internet-based console, I saw a new side of a medium that had been fun but one-dimensional to say the least. Xbox Live, for better or worse, changed my life, as a new sense of interconnectedness clashed with the hostile atmosphere of games like Modern Warfare 2 or Halo 3. Needless to say, at the same time I was meeting people who would go on to shape my mind and attitude for years to come, I was also being consistently attacked for my bravado, braggadocious behavior, and extremely squeaky voice. Yet, for every time that the console was turned off amidst a flurry of dejected frustration and broken controllers, I turned it back on just as much. And why? Well, in retrospect, it's simple. Gaming had fostered within itself a community, a place for people to interact. Many interactions could be filled with malice, but others allowed you to make friends with people who had similar interests, ideas, and pastimes. Toxicity can be found in any organized activity, but looking past that is necessary in order to see the value something can provide. Without moving beyond that poison, I never would have touched upon a fundamental aspect of any community that is particularly present within the realm of gaming, and would have robbed myself of many personal experiences that I hold value in today. For some people, camaraderie can be very rare. Finding an individual you enjoy enough to want to be around consistently is a tall task for many. Some people are simply loners who enjoy a solemn nature. A few find that they have a very disagreeable, incompatible personality that makes interaction with others annoying, tedious, or outright aggressive. Perhaps one is neither of the aforementioned personalities, but is so reserved they see trying to find other people to interact with as more of a practice in anxiety than an enjoyment. Regardless, this absence of fun drives a wedge between most people and them, and this makes finding friends hard to do. To worsen this already complex equation, even basking in the presence of another doesn't necessarily make them your friend. Life is difficult for a litany of reasons, and one of them is that finding friends you can count on can be an arduous task to say the least. Trust is one of the most foundational aspects of friendship, and for many, past betrayals or ostracization, or even innate introversion, make putting belief in other people an impossible task. Without trust, being who you really are is difficult. You are constantly walking on eggshells, figuring if you aren't careful, you will slip, unveiling a part of your character that's so heinous, any potential friend would simply leave. Hanging out with someone becomes draining. It may be fun or it may not, but either way, putting up a front, a mask to which you have to pay attention, is time-consuming, distracting, and instead of being energizing, it slowly drains every iota of eagerness left in your body. True friends hang out with you for who you are, and do not require a mask or illusion. They trust you for your character, and they love you for what they see past all of the fronts, at the baser levels of your personality. On the other side of the comrade coin lies those who make friends easily, the extroverts and introverts of the world who, for some reason, have a charisma to them that seems to overpower the senses. They parade about, spouting off at the mouth, indulging any and all conversation as they slowly amass a greater number of friends who could be at their side. Or, they sit reserved, offering their opinion and ideas only on occasion, yet gaining a following due to their pristine insight, perceptive nature, or humorous attitude which captures the heart and minds of other people. Such is the power of charisma that even in the most dire of circumstances, a linked individual will always have backup or mass appeal behind them. Yet even in this case, camaraderie is hard to come by. Say what you will, but those people who are linked by many do not necessarily love or trust all of those people. They have a gravity that draws others into their web of connections for sure, but even so, they may remain lonely and internally isolated. Making friends is only one part of the equation of camaraderie. It is easy to have people that you hardly talk to and occasionally hang out with. In fact, it's often easier to do that than to actively be involved in even a few people's lives. Of course it is. Spending time is possibly the most simple task a person could do. It is an unequivocally incomplex task to just spend that time with one of a gaggle of individuals you could choose from. But being actively involved in those same people's lives? That can be very consuming, both physically and mentally. To consistently concern oneself with the idea and problems of another requires tact, emotional intelligence, and effort. It means you do not simply spend time, you must make time for the other person, and if you are a true friend, you should probably enjoy it as well. This time and effort is what generates trust between two people, and without it, you can hardly call someone your friend, much less a true comrade. In either direction, whether you are a silent observer or affable spokesman, camaraderie is important. Friends come and go, by the ones or the dozens, but comrades never fade from your heart, regardless of the distance between you or the time it's taken since you've seen them. Camaraderie represents an aspect of human behavior that has often been noted. People are social creatures even if their nature defies that ideal. We crave interaction with people we enjoy even as we hide away and seclude ourselves. And why wouldn't we be? There's no advancement or achievement that's been made entirely alone. Most constructs or personal rewards were only possible due to the intense cooperation of multiple people, and even in instances where a single person came up with an idea and executed it entirely solo, their ideas and creations were only possible due to the diligence of those who came before them. We, as a species, are better together than divided. Humans are some of the most absorbent creatures on the planet. We have a natural and insatiable curiosity, and this constant perceptive osmosis of information buoyed us intellectually above other animals. Despite the indignant perceptions of those who view themselves as an entirely closed system of unique behavior, this gathering of knowledge means that as we grow, we come to emulate aspects of the environment around us. The axioms that we construct the lens we view reality through are based, at least partially, on the way we were raised. I'm sure you see the connection already, but this aspect of human psychology goes doubly so for the people we surround ourselves with. Every thought, every interaction, every idea generated between you and another person helped to build the foundation of who you are today. Camaraderie refers to the feelings of trust, love, and loyalty between you and anyone lucky enough to be close to you. People are various and dynamic. They morph, change, and grow. Even without any innate closeness, a stranger could make an impression on you that changes the course of your life. Imagine, then, the ability the people who care about you have to affect your thoughts and behavior. As you grow, you start to gain aspects to your character, and what forms those constructs of the mind will take is partially determined by those you choose to have as your friends. This means that the feeling of camaraderie is an essential one. It not only comforts you, it makes you feel as though you belong, both of which are essential to healthy development. It also determines the people who will be the most influential in how you perceive your life. If you are always alone, then you perceive reality as a much more lonely and sad place. Your thoughts would not only make a more depressing individual, they would construct a less wise and intelligent person, as the lack of external attachment created a limited and hyper-specific perspective. A person who is socialized by having people around them develops in a more typical way. They would become more balanced as the senses of love and belonging create a happier, more personable individual whose understanding of the world is not only less lonely, but more inclusive and understanding of other people.